What drug did you take once and thought nope, never again? My dad gave me a Dilaudid he had left over from his hip surgery because I had a sore neck. I felt an almost overwhelming sense of euphoria. I knew I could never take another one. That fake weed stuff that was around a little while back. Thought I was going to die. So hot. My sister found me naked passed out in the bathroom with my face against the bottom of the toilet. This really bothered me. I'm not a gramophobe but rather germ-aware. Meth. Did someone's thinking it was coke, spent 2 days strung out and horny as hell. Never again. OxyContin, shit was too relaxing and didn't last long. I had knee surgery and they gave it to me for the pain. I took it for a week and when I wasn't on it I really wanted more. After a week of it I never wanted to touch that shit again. Ambien. Woke up in my underwear on my neighbor's porch. Tetracycline. Turns out I'm allergic. Salvia. I smoked it and instantly dropped the bowl. I thought I was in a reality where I was a giant Velcro pepperoni that was strapped onto a giant pizza and was trying to escape. I was actually just laying on the bed unable to get up. Which is good because later the entire wall of my third-floor apartment opened up and I felt the urge to jump out, so I might have jumped out the window if I had been able to move. Good stuff. Benadryl. Took around 700 to 800 milligrams, like 25 or 30 pills, a while ago to trip. Not a good recreational drug. It's like how people who don't do drugs imagine acid to be like. I'd actually vividly see things and people that weren't there. I'd see people come in the room I was in and sit next to me on the couch and I'd start having a conversation with them, only to blink and have them disappear. I'd get up and start filling up a cup of water and bam I'd be back on the couch, never having gotten up. I don't remember most of the night but my friends said I was just in a complete different world. They had some funny stories from it though apparently at one point I pulled my pants down and just said dance in my pants. I did meth twice. Never again. Edit, just to clarify, I loved it. It's the best thing ever. That's why I can't allow myself a third time, cause I know for sure I won't be able to stop. Salvia no doubt. Xanax. Took a bar at a friend's house. All I remember was watching Game of Thrones at a friend's house then next thing I know I'm at my apt and it's a day later. Wasn't a bad experience for anything it was just alright and felt like a waste of time. Plenty of better drugs out there. Heroin. Too good. Knew it'd get its claws in me if I did it a second time. For me, meth. I did it once under the presumption that it was cocaine. It was not. I had to go to the hospital. I mean, I probably didn't have to. But at the time, I had only smoked weed. I didn't know how to deal with the increased heart rate and paranoia. For my friend, diphenhydramine aka Benadryl. He is a really hardcore tripper, and can handle inhuman amounts of psychedelic substances. But he said that the one drug he would never do again was Benadryl. He said that his experience had lots of spiders. Meth. I've taken prescription Adderall nearly my whole life and I wanted to test all these people who told me you're just taking prescription meth. To say the least I don't do either of them anymore. The two thing I've taken from this thread is that salvia is the worst drug out there. And that realizing you want more of a drug is instantly the reason to never do it again. Heroin, it was just too good. Salvia. It's a very short trip but I felt so much physical discomfort like my whole body was being shoved into a box despite the fact that I was sitting in the grass with a group of friends. Apparently it's not an uncommon side effect of the drug. For me it was coke. I'm a broke bitch so after spending $80 for maybe an hour's worth of a high I very quickly learned why it's called blow. You can blow through it and all your cash in a few days tops. Glad I got off that shit quick, woulda ruined me. Not a drug, but I was told I needed to take a fiber supplement, and went with the fiber pills. Then I went to the emergency room because I felt like I couldn't breathe within a few minutes of taking them. Fiber pills swell up easily with water, so they can end up feeling like they're sealing your throat. I now take fiber gummies, and actually enjoy having a little treat every day. I didn't take it intentionally, it was added to my weed without my knowledge. FKN angel dust. I overdosed on that shit. Muscle relaxants. Worst cramps I've ever had when the drug stops working, and you realize you have cramping muscles at the soles of your feet and between all your bones. Ketamine. The ear doctor said it was safer than propofol, yes, the stuff that killed Michael Jackson, that he used it in the army many times and it just has minor side effects. He'd inject me with it. I'd go out like a light and not remember a thing. Well, what seemed like years later, I woke up from my near-death experience with lizard god people hovering over me mumbling some foreign language. I had fell from reality, into a black hole. I traveled the cosmos of the universe, transcended the planes of time and landed back on some alien world, called Earth. A few hours later I realized I was in a and this doctor had taken me on a psychedelic trip of a lifetime. I got put to sleep as a not very religious person. I woke questioning my existence and God. Never again. Well, until I die. Let me preface by saying I was an idiot. I am very aware of this. Do not try this at home. It's not even the most dangerous drug nor hardest I ever tried. You can legally buy it if you're 18. I was 16 and stole it. Me and my friends stole a bunch of Dramamine, like 12 bottles. This was before they put them behind the counters. While our dumbasses all took at least 18 pills each and tripped balls. Scary monster-filled balls. It was awful. My friend got arrested. I almost did. I thought my car got stolen and called the police. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It was horrible. It was one of the worst nights of my life. It was Halloween like 2010 and I walked 3 miles in the dark dressed as Snooki from Jersey Shore. I was so high and scared I was seeing some weird shit in people. My friends and family kept appearing. It was the worst. When I finally made it home, the police got there because my dumbass called them because, like I said, I thought my car was stolen. I got lucky. They thought I had dented it and got scared. Instead of being high as a freaking kite, I got off with the cops, not with my dad. My dad and uncle had both done the whole Dramamine high thing in their youth, so I was grounded for a fat minute. I did LSD twice a couple years ago. The first time was awesome and the second time was also awesome, but since then I just don't want to do it anymore. It's weird, but I just don't. Even though I had very positive experiences with it, I just don't want to do it again, ever again. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't really bother me. If we're wondering, I waited about 2 months or so to do my second trip. But dextromorphin is something I did one time and will never touch again. When I had an HS, I was a bit of a fiend and I went to the Walmart to get cough syrup off the shelf, Dalsum Orange. I did it with 3 other friends and it ducked all of us up. We couldn't walk right, like it felt as if our legs were lagging behind our brain by a couple seconds. Eventually I threw up like 4 times, don't remember if they did, but I did. The euphoria was weak AF and the trip was really weird. DPT https://n.wikipedia.org Wiki 5 Mayo DPT? Profs 51 people have referred to it as evil DMT, and that checks out. Imagine the psychedelic aspects of DMT, but it lasts for hours and you feel like you're also on meth. Good duck and lug sitting still for more than a millisecond. The visuals move at 1,000,000 miles an hour and it's really hard to get any semblance of reality. Basically you feel like you're in a crank movie and it feels like it goes on forever. Not fun. Also did a PCP analog once and that was obviously terrible. Didn't do enough to totally flip out. I was mostly confused and disoriented and nothing seemed real. I love ketamine, but this was different. Kinda similar to DPT, it was much more speedy than I would have preferred and it left me feeling scared and hopeless. Easy for me to see how enough of that shit will make someone go totally bananas. Finally, meth. Did it once by accident, Someone told me it was MDMA, and that come down, good lord. Just thinking about it gives me flashbacks. I don't really do drugs other than weed anymore, and that's probably for the best.